Thank you very much, Evaluation Observatory, for giving me this opportunity, first of all. I'm going to talk about community engagement as a part of social accountability and what role it plays in that. I will be telling you about social accountability, its context, rationale, and the different methods and tools that are available on those. This is just I just wanted to start on a very light-hearted but profound note to say that what goes into, we could describe this as a governance machinery, and there is a lot of resources going in at the top, and with leakages steaming out, as you can see, through the machinery, and then finally the citizen getting very little of what is being passed around. So this then we call the governance deficit. Now, why is there a governance deficit? These are the key reasons why there is a governance deficit. One is that the civil society is dormant. The other could be that there is an abuse of discretion. Third would be a weak accountability in the system, in the service provision, which then leads to corruption as well. There is non-responsiveness among the service providers who do not respond to whatever issues are raised by the users of that service. And then, of course, there is inefficiency in the way the service is delivered. Now, how does one address the governance deficit? And one way of doing it is with the use of social accountability measures. Social accountability, there are various definitions available of social accountability, but I'll just go through very quickly two of the definitions that I have picked out. One is a broad range of actions beyond voting that the citizens can hold the state to account. They can use those and hold the state to account. And there are certain, it could be actions on the part of the government, civil society, media, or any other of the stakeholders. The other definition, which is very simple but very precise, is about how social accountability is an approach towards building accountability that relies on civic engagement, in which it is ordinary citizens or civil society organizations that participate directly or indirectly in exacting accountability. If you want to know more about this, you could always refer to the link that I've given here, which will be shared with you later. There could also be internal, there always is internal accountability mechanisms in government, which takes various forms like political, fiscal, administrative mechanisms, and legal mechanisms. But there are certain critical success factors that make social accountability count. And those are, it could be the underlying political, legal, social, cultural, and economic factors, which would be the key for sustained impact. And it is important to these methodologies to suit the context. There are various tools. Of course, there are just about 11 of these that I have listed out here. There is a citizen report card approach, there's a community scorecard approach, participatory budgeting, budget analysis, public expenditure tracking, social audits, which are very popular, citizen charters, which are now mandated by the government for every department to come up with, public hearings, or Jan Sunwai as they are called, appointment of ombudsman or the Lokayukta, citizen juries, as well as use of community radio. So in this particular presentation, I'm going to just very quickly tell you about two of these methodologies that I have used a lot of, and which is the citizen report card and the community scorecard. In the citizen report card, the approach is survey based, where we do a survey of users of certain public services, which are basically provided by the government, and the people do not have a choice to go to any other provider for. And these services are provided by the government, and we do a survey of the users to understand what are the different issues that they face, to understand how these services are provided. Various aspects of service delivery are covered in this. And then the services are rated largely on satisfaction, on responsiveness, on the way the services, the quality of the services, and so on. Once the ratings are ready, these are shared with the different service providers or the agencies that provide the service. And then there is civic engagement or citizen engagement in the reforms that are brought about collaboratively by the citizens as well as the government agencies. And of course, This is then done on a sustained basis, which then goes through periodic benchmarking and public review, which leads to improvement in certain services. This then is a citizen report card, and this is a methodology that can be used to largely to get an idea of how services are provided across large geographical areas and large different types of service users and service providers and so on. The community scorecard approach, which is the second approach that I'm going to tell you about, is something that is used to assess services at the utility level or at the very local level, and the community and the service providers come together to understand the problems that are faced by the community and the problems that are faced by the service providers, and come to an understanding on how what changes can be made to improve the services at the very local level. So it could be the Anganwadis or daycare centers run by the government. It could be primary schools that are run by the government. It could be health centers at different levels, at different locations that are run by the government. The method includes 7 key steps. You have preparatory groundwork, which of course, I guess every methodology involves. There is input tracking, where one understands what are the inputs or what are the ingredients that go into the provision of the service. What is the status of all of these inputs in the utility that we are assessing? There is a performance scorecard by the community, which comes up with various indicators of the service delivery and the quality of service. And then service providers evaluate themselves, do a self-evaluation, trying to come up with indicators and rating themselves on those indicators. The community and the service providers are then brought together in the interface meeting, where they then try to interact with each other, bargain, or make the other understand why the score has been given by them. And then they come out with consensual, or they come up with a score which is arrived at by the two of them, and then they come up with an action plan, which then is executed to understand how things can be changed, and change is brought about to improve the services. And of course, the institutionalization of this methodology leads to a lot of change and improvement in the service delivery, as well as how the community plays a role in service delivery improvements, and how the community monitors the services by itself, gets empowered. So here are some examples of how the citizen report cards and community scorecards have worked in various contexts. For example, there was a study that we did in the Sundarbans area of West Bengal, where we did an analysis or evaluation of Anganwadi centers or daycare centers run by the government. And we found that the mothers realized that they have the power to improve the services. The food that was being provided, the khichdi that was being provided to the children, was of poor quality, it was liquidy, and it was not nutritious. And they went and this came out through the community scorecard that was conducted there. They went and monitored the making of this food in the afternoon, and then onwards, the quality of the khichdi that was given to the children improved dramatically. Another example, the use of the citizen report cards, is in Bangalore, where the Public Affairs Center conducted various citizen report cards period of time, which led to competition among municipal services. So we would get calls from the service providers asking us, when is the next report card coming out, and we want to be ranked first. So that kind of competition to improve their services happened from the service provider side as a result of the citizen report card. There was also, if you want to look at an international example, there was a cash transfer program run by the government in Tanzania, where this cash transfer program for the poorest of the poor was evaluated using both the citizen report card approach and the community scorecard approach to understand the way education, health services are provided to citizens. And this led to feedback on how the program was doing. And that feedback then led to the government running the program in a more efficient and very useful manner. Thank you.